because the Corbyn campaign obviously didn't come out of nowhere. And there's a lot of familiar faces to me in this room, and that's because over the last decade, or for many of you, more than a decade, we've seen each other on rainy picket lines, in tiny meetings when there's sometimes more speakers than there are audience, in bigger but kind of ineffective demos where you have incredibly boring MPs talking over megaphones that don't work. And some people here I've seen in city council meetings even, giving speeches who are given kind of 2 minutes at the end of the session to give incredibly powerful, emotive political speeches about decisions that were already decided behind closed doors often, and who were speaking to a room full of people who'd much rather, in one situation I can remember, listen to the kind of master of Pembroke College rant on, or love Cambridge's business manager, than people who they're actually paid to represent. So Corbyn would absolutely not have happened if it hadn't been for the energy of people in this room and in similar rooms all over the country. It's not really Corbyn's movement, it's all about, it's kind of up to us to take hold of that movement now and keep turning the political tide, I guess, in the country. And so I think it would be good if we could use this meeting for two things. So one thing I guess we can all agree on is we don't want the Tories to win the next election, but for us, I'm sure politics won't stop, even if Corbyn does manage to become Prime Minister. So I think the first thing we need to do is build a movement, inside or outside of Labour, that remains strong no matter what happens to the Labour Party. And the other thing is that there's 5 years before the election campaign, and perhaps one thing we can talk about is how to fight collectively in Cambridge against the policies that are already putting people out of jobs, kicking them out of their homes, depriving of the basic necessities needed for human dignity, and in many cases actually just taking people's lives. So the work is urgent,